This podcast is rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Some material may not be suitable for children.
Mission 250.
I'm recording. You guys recording?
And so am I.
Now recording.
Sweet.
All right.
I have a metronome so that I can speak in
To
time.
the rhythm.
That's good.
That's right. Yeah, because I have no rhythm. All right.
This is
wait.
the Mission 250 Filmcast. Oh, wait. What, John? What's oh,
What,
wait?
John?
Sorry.
What are we waiting for?
Because I thought I
Already.
turned the metronome off and it wasn't turned off. So sorry. I just, stop! It's still clicking.
It is your turn to
Anyway,
go first, but let me
please,
say stuff first
please,
for a minute.
Go
okay?
on. Carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
This is a movie podcast.
It's just that the metronome was going and I...
That joke never gets
No,
old.
I know.
Sorry.
It's fun.
There's no recovering from it either.
Yeah,
can't do
I
anything.
know. Right.
I'm just going to go ahead and eat this popsicle while I do this.
All
Okay?
right, yeah, eat your adult popsicle.
Okay. Oh, man, it's cool.
Well, sure, it's a
man.
fucking popsicle. It's supposed to be cold. What are you?
Ooh, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah?
Rum and cola. Anyway, movie podcasts. Every week we watch the best movies of all time, and sometimes we do a bonus episode, and then sometimes those things overlap because this week's movie is now rated number 92. It wasn't on the list when we froze it in 2016. Weirdly enough, this movie came out in 2007, so I don't exactly know what happened there. Some kind of weird push in India to like get this movie very high up on the list. Who knows? We can speculate later. But this movie is Like Stars on Earth, which was directed by Aamir Khan and kind of directed by Amoli Gupte. The synopsis is, an 8-year-old boy is thought to be a lazy troublemaker until the new art teacher has the patience and compassion to discover the real problem behind his struggles in school. And this week, this was John's suggestion, and it's his turn to go first. So, John, explain yourself and then give us your thoughts.
I explained myself. I love watching these Bollywood films, these Indian films. They're so joyful, and I don't know, they're just so pleasant to watch. This one is kind of slow at times, but I still very much enjoyed it. And the kids really liked it too, what they watched of it.
I was going to ask, did they watch all 3 hours of it? Probably not.
No, but they loved the songs and the dancing, and they felt really bad for the kid at first.
How can you not?
So on one end, I can say like the movie's a little slow and long at times, but I still really love it. And I was sort of like mildly crying for the last 20, 30 minutes.
Really?
I mean, yes, I'm a big softie, I guess, but it was just so sweet. And I don't know. It's just so sweet that it wasn't like sobbing or anything, just kind of, being leaky for a good while.
A 20-minute leak, though, that's a long
20 minute
leak.
leak.
Yeah,
That's a long leak.
I think it's probably it's a bit of a record, a bit of a marathon, mild crying record for me. I mean, part of it's just the way that the movie just moves slow, and once I sort of was used to it and be like, all right, this is the pace of the film. Then I was okay with that. I think it really takes its time, and sometimes it's really good. Like I love when the little boy goes walking in India, and you just see all in the city, and you just see all these things, and especially for someone like me who's never traveled anywhere like there, it's just really cool to see that and see it in a very like just sort of leisurely pace. I think the songs were a lot of fun. I like them. I like the dance numbers. I like the kids dancing. His entrance with the clown was really good. The subject matter is really intense and impressive. It's just like his other films too, where they did PK and Three Idiots. They have this kind of social message behind the film that they really want to drive home. And maybe that seems preachy, but it's such a good message that you're like, okay, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. It's just such a good message. And it's very true that kids that have special needs can be easily sidelined, easily neglected or blamed for what they have. That it's like, let's just take this message, hit it hard. That's fine. That's totally fine. The interactions between the kid and the dad were really intense, and I thought really well done and very upsetting early on. And there's the one speech that Amir's character gives to the dad about caring that I thought was really, really good. And I wanted to find the quote, but I couldn't find it. Where he's sitting there with the dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, caring, right? You want me to know that you care."
Amir Khan's lucky he didn't get slapped a few times.
I know. The dad sort of turned around
and
in
knocked
an
that
odd,
mother out.
I know. The dad turned around in a quick
I didn't see
way
that coming
I didn't
either.
really. I wanted.
I saw it all coming. Are you kidding me? Come on.
It's gonna end that way.
I just
But
figured
would-
he'd
I would
always
like
end
to
up being a
see-
prick. I just figured he'd always end up a prick.
I know, or I would like to see how he turned around a bit more, because he kind of like, how do we ever thank you, crying sort of very quickly. I mean, the movie's
If you just show
sentimental.
somebody crying on screen, John's just going to follow along and cry as well.
Probably.
I mean,
that's
that's the that makes sense. I didn't cry, but I felt.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay,
didn't
that's
cry.
good.
Yeah, I think the movie's it's very sentimental, but I'm like all along the ride for it. So it's very sweet. This is like with these kinds of films, I just love the sort of like the joyfulness and the sort of like it's kind of like, I don't know, simple is not a fair word at all, but it's very straightforward. And I really appreciate it. I can see how it might be criticized for being like not
Could
subtle.
you say on the nose?
Yeah, on the nose. Yes, sure. I would say on the nose. Is there a joke there?
No.
John, I'm with you. I'm like, what is Denny getting at here?
I just meant I'm trying to put it in a negative way that you'll agree to. It's on the nose.
Are you a
So
hater?
Denny doesn't like this movie.
Are you going
That's what I
negative?
can tell by his face.
You don't like the
With his
children?
grin. He's
I
got
hate-
that
I hate
grin.
children.
Shit-eating-
Kids.
Apparently, I
that
hate
shit-eating
children.
grin. That shit-eating
Yeah,
grin.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy this,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
No, it's gonna be a long night.
No, it's not. Fuck Denny.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, thanks, TC. When you're with me, it's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with you, bud. All the way down with the ship.
No, I see why this movie is well loved, and again, I was along for the ride and really enjoyed it. So, nose or otherwise, but yeah, I don't have a ton of this. I like I like how these movies do this, and they have the character actors and how they just sort of become annoying at first, but then fun. Like I like the three other teachers; they were really funny.
They were funny. I think they were funny. At the end, they were
And
funny.
the one teacher that sounded like John Cleese when he was like talking about all the different prepositions. Also, I mean, something that was very entertaining about this film was the artwork and the cartoons and the way that they showed like numbers, swimming, and things like that for the boy and his imagination pieces. I thought those were well done and pretty entertaining. So I also enjoyed that. Again, the movie is slow, and I could criticize it for that, depending upon if I was like being impatient. But I just divided it up into 2 nights, and we watched it over dinner, and it was fun, and the kids liked it. So.
There you go.
Hard to
That's
argue
my
with that.
review. Yeah.
I'm going to try. TC, why don't you go second there?
Sure, I'll go second.
Yeah.
It's to your popsicle, kid.
I'm eating
Yeah,
the popsicle.
eat your popsicle.
You got to give me, I think I'm only halfway
Oh,
done.
like
That took
popsicle.
John
Look at
5
him.
minutes.
He's
TC,
fucking-
you got to take another 6 or 7 minutes.
He's
Is that okay?
distracted. Just like the
Yeah,
kid,
that's true.
you know?
I don't like that film.
I'm trying to get
I
myself
like it.
into the mood here. Come on.
I don't like children.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I'd
How
say
much was that popsicle?
Oh, yeah.
How much did that cost you?
I got it for free. Someone dumped it at our house because they didn't want it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rum and cola popsicle.
Yeah.
It definitely came in
Just
free.
found it on
They're
your
like, "Do you
doorstep.
want these?"
They
I'm
like
like,
they
"Yeah, you
like
should
Take this. You'll like it. Sure.
I in the mailbox, still frozen. All right, sorry to interrupt, DC. There you go.
So, what's this movie called again?
Like Stars on Earth.
Stars on Earth.
Oh, right. There we go. I couldn't tell you.
I thought it was every
I-
child is special because that's what it said
There seemed
underneath
to be
the
a subtitle.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's just how the languages
The,
transliterate.
English, right? They just do half and half.
Hindi to English. It
Yeah.
doesn't really translate 1-to-1 sometimes. So, I mean, I would say that I needed this movie. I thought this movie was good. I thought it was, I don't know. We've been so stuck in this just like, negativity. And then the fucking, mayor of Easttown. Talk about
Dark.
Debbie
Yeah.
Downer. You know what I mean? Like we've just been onslaughted with this kind of like, oh, everything sucks. Life's a pain in the ass. People are pricks. And that's, it's such good stuff, right? No, I'm sick of it. It was so nice. It was so nice to sit. For one, I am a huge Aamir Khan fan. I mean, that's just what it is. I figured that out about halfway through, and I'm sitting there like a little kid with my, chin on my
like,
knuckles, like,
oh.
look at him go,
Dude, I'll
Like,
agree
you know,
that this movie picks up as soon as he walks on.
Oh my
Certainly,
God,
yeah,
as soon as he
yeah.
walks in, I mean, Jesus Christ, totally different movie.
Yeah, he flips him.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was sitting there like that. I just want to meet him one day. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there doing that the whole time. Like he just seems such like a cool guy. And so, I mean, it was just such a heartwarming story. I mean, I agree with John. It did get kind of slow. I mean, the thing about these movies too is they're extended just by all the songs.
Yeah.
Right. So like
For sure.
we end up having to see the story. Like, yeah, we get it. Okay. The kid's, he's not taken care of very well. The parents think he should be doing that.
I get it.
Yeah, I
Right,
get it.
yeah. That's
Right,
enough.
Like, yeah.
Thanks.
Well, right. Beating over the head with it. I get it.
I know. Answer. Yeah.
And, it's just like the idea that like you grow up and, you might not pay attention, but doesn't mean you're stupid, right? I was joking that, the kid got, a Z like I used to do, the habitual time waster. I used to get that on my report card all the time.
Z.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah,
What is that? What does that
I
stand
used
for?
to a habitual time waster. So it
Weird.
was like an addition to like your grade. Like here's your grade, and then like I'd get like these extracurricular
2
like,
A's and
Zs,
B and a
you know?
Z.
Yeah, right. No, I would get a C, and then on the
The Z
notes
was like-
Z. Yeah.
Oh.
So like I wouldn't do well in the class, and then
They
and
must
then
have
I
been
was,
giving that out to a lot of
I
kids
was
if
one
they
of
had
these
to
kids.
abbreviate it.
Maybe that's why I liked it too. I was one of these kids, right? Like I didn't pay attention in math and chemistry and all that other shit. I was acing my band classes, right? Like my best grades were music and anything art related. It wasn't fucking science. So maybe I was this kid too. I was like relating with this kid a little bit. Granted, my dad wasn't yelling at me because I wasn't doing my schoolwork right. He was yelling at me for like 1,000 other reasons. But I felt something for this kid, and I felt bad for him, and I felt sad that the flip book was really painful. You know what I mean? The poor kid. He's just
I
And,
laughed at that scene.
I mean, yeah,
Of
right.
course
Because
you
you're
did.
fucked up. You
You
like
did.
Mayor of Easttown. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
your fucking
I
shit's
thought
all
it was
warped.
hilarious.
Yeah, your shit's warped.
It was sad.
Something
Warped,
wrong with me, I
Denny,
think.
you're warped.
And we
There it is.
watched
Yeah.
the flip book like 8 different times.
I
don't
know.
if you
It
knew
got
that, but-
funnier every time. It was like maybe they're doing it the wrong way.
It's
Nope.
like,
Yeah, no. And I
Still
mean,
funny.
as
Still
soon as
funny.
he came into, as soon as Aamir Khan came in, the whole movie changed. They got it just got really upbeat and fun.
That scene where he was the clown was weird as shit, and I was like,
It was
what
weird.
the hell is
It
this?
was weird,
It
but
was great.
It reminded me of just like how in the world we live in now, like you can't just be a nice older person with kids. It's always fucking labeled as being strange. You can't just like hang out and sing, right? Like you can't do that anymore. People are all like, even for me, I was watching. I'm like, this is a little strange. And I'm like, what's strange about it? The guy's brand new to the class. He's trying to make them laugh. He's really just being a nice guy. That's it. Right? But like in my American head, I'm like, look at this fucking pedophile.
Well,
What is he doing
it's
with
because
his
he's a
kids?
producer, director, actor, and we think in
Yeah,
Hollywood it's
right,
like you get
right.
near kids, that's bad.
Kids, you're fucking. You're probably
But
diddling.
you
Yeah.
see all this like
exactly.
footage of
So-
him just I mean, a lot of that footage is just him hanging out with the kids during
Yeah.
the songs and stuff, which looks like
Right.
they're all having a really good time.
I mean,
it's
they're having
just-
fun, right? They're having just honest fun.
Yeah,
you know?
it seems like he must have just like spent the day at least or more at these various places and just hung out with them, and then they just got a lot
Right.
of footage of that,
Right.
which is pretty
and
cool.
I liked the whole story. I liked the character development of the other
Yeah.
teachers kind of coming around to his way
Yeah.
of thinking. I liked that, like they were, and the scenery at that New Era school there. Is
Oh yeah,
gorgeous.
it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. And I love that about Three Idiots too when they did that. I love when they see the hills and they show the distance, the way they had the moon like up there. Like
That was some kind of
really,
special effect for sure. The moon looked kind of
Yeah.
weird.
It did,
I'll
but it was
agree.
great.
It looked good, though. Yeah.
It meshed well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. Like I said, I needed this movie. It was such a nice change of pace to like the drab and dreary shit I've been
The
watching.
dark, gritty.
Where everything sucks and
He's a
life's a
mobster and he
mess
kills people and he feels
Yeah,
bad later,
right,
maybe.
Right. But he made a boatload of money and has a
Right.
hot wife.
Meanwhile, let us
Great.
show you some
Cool.
graphic violence
Cool.
and possibly some rape here, because
Yeah,
that's
right,
how life
right.
is.
Right. Is there incest? Because that seems what we
Yeah,
need
that's
now.
good too. And maybe we enjoy it a little bit, maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're
Yeah,
not really
right.
going to say. You
No.
don't have to say either. Let's just
Right.
watch the film.
Let's just watch some gnarly shit. So no, this was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Agreed though, John. I think there was a lot of times where I'm like, you got to cut out a good 25% of this film, and I would have still understood every bit of it.
Yep.
And the paintings were cool. The the stuff they did was cool. It was just such easy, simple shit.
I even
with a
enjoy
good
that, and
message.
maybe it's more being a parent where now I've like really now that kids are doing art and things. I like just sitting there watching these different kids do different pieces of artwork, and they spend a lot of time on it. And I was like, I'm liking this. That's fun.
The only criticism I'd give is that, like, I was not watching this movie for any kind of production value. I really wasn't watching it for anything like sound related. Like, there was no part of me that was sitting there watching this and like criticizing the movie for anything other than the story, which I think is fine because that's really what it was for, right? It got the message across. Like, special needs kids, they need extra attention, and most people don't give it to them. Okay, understood. I can roll with that.
Or they can be
propaganda all
misunderstood or
day.
blamed
Yeah.
for their faults, right?
Right,
That's pretty important.
So other than that, I mean, I'm waiting for Denny to tear this all
All
apart
right,
now.
you've finished your adult popsicle,
I
Danny. You're
did.
ready to fight.
I heard TC wrapping it up, so I chugged the last quarter of it as fast as I could. I got a brain freeze for a second.
That's what they gave Rocky, before he goes after Apollo. He just, there's your popsicle, Rock.
Yeah, your popsicle rock. All right, Denny, let's bring us down now. Now that we are in a nice and happy place, let's have you bring us down. Get back down
What
to
do
some
you got?
narratives.
Yeah,
Come
come
on.
I wanted
Bring
to
it
start with
right.
this. I wanted to start my review with this.
My
My wife is
prepared. You
my
have a
wife
speech
is
prepared?
dyslexic. Okay, she
Oh,
is actually
okay.
dyslexic.
So were you
And-
laughing at her too, you son of a bitch?
No. So when the movie,
No, wait, Naomi's in an abusive relationship, TC. We need to get her out of here.
He's over there screaming and laughing at her. Ah, you fuck.
Why
yeah,
aren't
right.
you working harder? Why don't you read
I
more?
know.
so I'll say some positive things I can relate to that, but just in terms of the end, she like we were maybe. She didn't watch the entire thing, but she watched maybe the last hour, and she was leaving as the movie was ending, and she was leaving the room. I'm like, where are you going? I was like half joking. I was like, where are you going? Don't you want to see where this goes? And she says, I quote, I care not for this frivolous shit, as she walks away.
I
then
guess
I'm
you
like,
guys are made for each
Denny,
And then
other.
I was
see
just
what
like,
you've done
can
to
I
her?
use that for the podcast?
You've hardened her. She no longer paints, Denny, because of you.
Yeah,
she no
she
longer
does.
cares.
Right.
She doesn't feel because
Yeah,
of you. This is all your fault.
She followed
That's
up
right.
that comment by saying, just because I'm dyslexic doesn't mean I'm a sap.
Aw.
You know what? You were bringing her down the whole time because you were making fun of it.
No,
I
she
bet
walked in
you.
and I
Yeah,
was
this is all
laughing.
your fault.
Yeah,
you're
probably.
you're laughing at fucking special needs kids, you fuck.
So, and I guess
I think
just
that's
to-
fair. I think I can see how. I mean, I can't fault necessarily that reaction either. If you're,
No.
you can see this is sappy. You can see
No,
this
it's super
is
sappy. One of
yeah.
my biggest problems with it. Just to start my portion of the review, I just got to say a blanket
Wait,
statement.
what?
This
You're
movie's
just
not
starting now? I thought
This
this is
movie,
what you've
that
been
was
doing.
Naomi. I just wanted to share that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
I'm sorry.
here we
Carry
go.
on.
So this movie's
Here
not
we
for
go.
me. This movie is definitely not for me, or the movies that I like, or my age range, or my lack of kids, or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's
Wait,
just not
TC's
for
your
me.
age range.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. This movie's just not for me. I don't like the
It's
type
not
of
for
movie.
you
I'm a
individually.
sap,
Let's
though.
stop
John,
trying to
John, me and
generalize.
you are the saps.
Yeah.
Denny's
this
the
movie is
drummer.
not for
He was the
Denny.
drummer for a reason,
Yeah.
dude.
Or
Come on.
Naomi. Yeah, that's right. That's
And I
right.
just spent I was away from Naomi for a week and a half just now. She doesn't like horror movies. She doesn't do foreign movies very well. So I did a bunch of foreign movies and a bunch of horror movies over the past week and a half. So that's what's going on in my head, and that's
Yeah.
what I want. You know what I mean? So
You're
then
a
I
weirdo.
watched this.
You want
You're,
horror?
you're
Yeah.
going to end up on
And
Dateline.
foreign.
So then
I don't
I
know what
watched
to tell you.
this.
You're a fucking
Well,
weirdo.
this was foreign, but not horror. So
No, it was like half English. It was enough. It was fine.
oh, it's not enough foreign
Yeah.
for you. Sorry,
But what was the first thing I was saying? Not for me. I don't know.
not
Yeah,
for
I think
you,
this
not for
movie-
your age range, not for
If you-
you're
so-
just trying to generalize.
Just trying to cover my ass here.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you guys I don't know. If you guys remember my criticisms from the other Aamir Khan movies, I liked most of those ones, except
Yeah.
for the facts where they're overly dramatic and they try to get you to cry. All the parts of those movies that I liked were like the really good and catchy pop songs and then the funny parts. Both what you mentioned, John, PK and what was the other one? Three Idiots. And all of them. I think all of them like were mostly comedies for the most part. Even Ad Had Hun. I don't think that was Aamir Khan, but another Indian
No,
movie.
that was an
mostly
American.
comedy.
Ed Nun was more dark. That one was.
It was still funny, though.
Wasn't that the piano player one? Right,
Yes.
the blind.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was great.
So
Yeah,
funny,
That was
right?
that
Funny.
was. It was funny at times,
Yes.
but it was also just definitely dark comedy. Right. I think.
Yes. This movie was not funny at
yeah.
all. This movie was the last half an hour of PK for 3 hours long, where everything was super, super dramatic to the point where none of the characters were believable. Like even some, like the little kid acting was pretty good for little kid acting, but all the adults, you could tell they were pandering to the kids. You know, like it was just, none of the situations were believable. I thought all of the songs
Really?
were totally forgettable. None of them were catchy. Can you hum a song right now? Do you remember any of the songs from this movie?
Fuck no. Was
Exactly.
I supposed to?
No.
Well, you
No.
did
I
from
like them.
Three Idiots. Remember we came on with Three Idiots?
I can't hum a song from Three
Well,
Idiots.
Three Idiots. See,
Not
you
now,
had, you
but
had
you
a really
could
good
then
like
when you were just
English
watching it.
refrain
Yeah,
with,
you
with
could.
Three
That was-
Idiots. You had the all as well, right? Wasn't that from Three Idiots? You had all as well.
All as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Vaguely
we forgot about
remember.
Lagan too, which was I kind of want to go back and watch Lagan after all of this again now because but that
I
one
think
had some
maybe
good
I just
songs
didn't
too.
have as much of a expectation as soon as I figured out what the movie was. And Denny had one.
I didn't have an expectation. I just didn't enjoy any of this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's okay.
It's not okay. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not.
Well, it's okay for you.
There's 3 hours.
It's okay.
It's fucking not okay.
It's not
All right?
okay.
Yeah, I
Brandon,
didn't
you
enjoy
get
it for
yourself back in
3
order.
hours. That was the entire run
It's
length.
a long fucking movie, but I didn't
Oh,
even
it's
feel
so
that
long.
bored because I was so sappy.
Yeah,
You know?
I enjoyed
was
it.
just so sappy.
The dad character. So you,
I can
John,
agree with you. The point that certainly there's not as much comedic moments.
there's none.
especially
When did you laugh? I laughed
I-
exactly
I-
once in 3
I
hours.
I laughed a number of times with the teachers. I laughed when the one teacher was like reading off what all the parts of speech were and sounding like John Cleese yelling, and that made me laugh. And I laughed at the teachers as they were like trying to paint and all of that stuff was going on towards the end. I thought that was fun.
Oh, so cheesy.
Yes, but I laughed. But I will agree that there's less sort of like comedic moments here, and certainly until Aamir Khan shows up, there's not much happiness at all, and it's pretty like just more melodramatic, and it's like this kid has it rough and it sucks. I enjoyed like the part where he's touring the town, and that sort of broke things up a bit, which was nice. But yeah, I agree with that. So I can see that, and you coming back from your trip, coming back from Boston, where
everyone's mad and angry and
upset. People are angry and pissed. You sit there and pull any kind of nice sappy shit when you're there. Oh boy, you're going to get like just what's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Get out of my store.
Don't you know we're all fucking pissed? That
get out of here.
Yeah, right.
But you just stop smiling. This guy's smiling at me over
here.
Take
your fucking sappy crap elsewhere,
Go away,
man.
What are you going to do? What are you
I also, I watched this on the day
smiling?
where I drove 45 minutes to get to the car rental place, to drop off the car, to take a bus, to take a tram, to get on an airplane. I was 2 hours early, 6-hour flight. Got to San Francisco. The gate was closed. I sat in the plane for an hour and 10 minutes. I had to take the BART back. It took an hour and 10 minutes. And then it's a 20-minute drive back to my house.
No,
and then I watched this 3-hour-long movie all in the same day.
We tried to give you space, but no, you've got plans all week.
Yeah,
we're trying.
That sounds terrible.
We were telling you we could shoot for Friday. Maybe you'd have been happier.
The thing is,
but now
I was ready to relax and have a light, fun movie, and this just didn't. I don't know.
It didn't work. I didn't work. Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree that the message is really good. I just don't think, like, I thought it was great to disguise a message like in PK and Three Idiots and those other movies in a comedy where it's like it's entertaining by itself. And then there's, even though it felt more shoehorned in those ones, the percentage of those movies was way more enjoyable because it was 80% comedy and then 20% message, where this one's like, here's a 3-hour-long message. It could have been an hour and a half, maybe even an hour, but we're going to make it 3 hours long because that's the typical length for an Indian movie or Bollywood movie. Like you guys said, where they repeated the flip book like 10 times. There were scenes towards the end where Aamir Khan was trying to find the kid, and he would ask the same kids. He's like, "Where's the kid?" And they're like,
"Right."
I don't know. He got it before bed. Like, we already did this. What are we doing?
I know. You get reaction shots. You only usually need one, but they would give you 3.
Yeah, and there were scenes where it's like, so he left early to go stand by the lake, and then he comes in halfway through the drawing contest. What is that supposed to mean? I don't know, but it's all dramatic when he's walking down the stairs. And then, of course, they dramatically set up all this stuff for him to win, and he wins. Of course he wins. The movie's about him.
They set that up. Yeah, they set the whole thing up.
There's no surprise there. Like, I'm just like, yes, why did that take 25 minutes to do that?
I don't know, but it was a beautiful painting.
It was a good painting. Yeah.
You know what, Denny? When me and Aamir Khan are hanging out and we're looking at you with our teary eyes,
you're not
allowed.
I still want to come.
Yeah,
I still want to come.
It's going to be me and him. We're going to look at you. We're going to put in Visine, and we're going to put in Visine, and we're going to look at you, and then we're going to say, "You're not welcome here."
And I'm going to laugh and be like, "I don't buy it, Aamir. I don't buy your acting."
Yeah, and then he's going to be like, "Who is this sap?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I've never met him in my life."
Yeah, he's
got
a dyslexic wife.
Into the sunlight,
like
having
crap.
a good time. Yeah.
But yeah, the artwork I agree with. It was really good throughout the movie. Like anytime they showed any of it, the animation portions were really good. Like the claymation,
the intros was great. The whole intro sequence was great.
Yep,
with the animations is very entertaining.
And the only part I laughed at, and I laughed pretty hard, was when he was daydreaming during the test, and he was dragging the Earth to Pluto.
Oh, yeah. That was
hey,
fun.
Pluto. Bye, Pluto.
Yeah, and it blew up the 9, and it was like 3 times 9 equals 3. And then it cuts to his face, and he's all happy.
He's like,
I laughed pretty hard at that.
I know. Like,
that was good.
I mean, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was meant to be funny.
That was funny. Yeah. And I thought the dad was a terrible actor. He was a caricature of a bad dad.
I don't know,
he
man.
kept flip-flopping between yeah, he's a bad kid. Oh shit, I'm a bad dad. But I'm bad. I'm mad at him again.
Yeah, but isn't that what bad parents do?
You
wouldn't know. You got 2 cats, bro. Come on.
I saw him flip-flopping towards the end of flip-flopping was weird when he would cry and stuff. Towards the end was strange.
And also he left his son there. He went to go visit his son and then ran away crying.
Early on scenes I thought were quite believable of a father being angry with this kid and frustrated with this kid. I thought that was actually well done.
I think the scenarios were believable, but the acting I didn't think was believable at all.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought it was good.
Okay. That's fine.
You're allowed to just have to. TC, would you like to make a judgment call here and decide between the two of us?
Of what?
He's going to be on your side. That's not fair. He knows you're on.
I'm already on there. I'm already on your side, John.
Exactly.
It's 2 versus 1.
He knows that. That's why he asked the question.
Yeah, you already won. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Then he could just say this all he wants.
Just for
He's
the
an
record.
unhappy,
Just for the record again.
salty Bostonian right now.
Oh,
'cause
look
he
at
just
me.
got back.
I'm pretty happy, actually. I don't care
Yeah,
that
you're
I just watched
happy. You're
this
making fun of
mediocre
fucking
little
special
rum
needs kids. Something
popsicle.
wrong with you.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the popsicle is the reason.
It's probably
I'm so
laced
happy.
with something.
The goddamn rum cola.
Yeah,
Who eats that
yeah.
anyways?
Who eats a rum cola, honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah. A rum cola popsicle. Who does that? Who leaves a rum popsicle? Who brings it to your house and leaves it? What is that about?
The company's name is Cutwater. They make spirit pops. They must have other flavors.
Mm-hmm. They're like, nobody else is doing this.
Does anybody else think to themselves, how come someone doesn't change his kid's shirt? Because I thought about that like 8,000 times.
So yeah, the same
Who's
shirt
letting
on
that
all the
kid
time.
leave the house with the same dirty shirt over and over and over again? They didn't look like they were too poor or anything. They looked like they were doing
Right.
pretty well. They had a fucking toilet.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's a
Yeah.
bad one that nobody got, I guess. But
I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh at that or not, you know?
Yeah, I think
that's
we
like, well,
they obviously
I
had
wore the
you
same
know,
shirt for the last 3 days.
Yeah, but you're
So, you know.
you're an adult. If it was
Yeah,
my kid,
yeah.
I'd be like, take your fucking shirt off. We're gonna run it through the wash. And if
You're
even
not-
if we have
you're
to
not
wash it in the
sit-
sink.
You're
You
not
know?
kneeling to pick up fish from the sewer like this kid is.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
true. But imagine how bad he stunk. I kept thinking to
Ooh,
myself,
yeah.
like, you're letting this kid in the house like that. But anyhow, these are the
I
only
also-
things I was, criticizing.
All right, so I'm going to criticize this too. This message, part of this message is a really good message, right? So I'm going to compare this to Ratatouille. Can you believe I'm going to do that?
Ratatouille.
Interesting.
Ratatouille. I think Ratatouille
Anyone
has
can cook. Anyone can learn. What?
not anyone can cook, but a good cook can come from anywhere is the message of Ratatouille. And that's not quite the message of this. The message of this movie is anybody who has dyslexia is going to be amazing at something that's not reading and writing, which is not the case at all, right? This kid is special, but they
Right.
make it seem like everybody that's special like this kid is special at something else. That's not the case.
No,
I
Most
thought
people
they
are
were
stupid.
saying.
I don't feel like
they
the
were
movie
saying
says
no.
that.
I thought they were saying that every kid that has a learning disability, it's that people aren't treating them the way they should be valued. Right? It's not about the kid being
Right.
so much as like having skills. It's more about the fact it's about everyone else and how
Right.
they stigmatize the kid. That's what I thought it was about.
But in the context of school, though,
I know, but and also it gets sort of washed out a bit in the sense that because it focuses on the kid who's a brilliant artist, and that's kind of the sort of climax of the movie, as opposed to sort of what the good thing is somebody taking, realizing that the kid has a problem and tailoring his learning so that he can move on without necessarily like forcing him to read and write like everybody else. Yeah, I can sort of agree that I didn't feel like that's the message. Like, oh well, every kid who has dyslexia is going to be a genius.
that's what he
Lots
said.
of
That's
people-
literally what he said, though. When he was arguing with the headmaster, he's like, this kid deserves to be in this school, just like every kid at my other school, the special needs school, also deserves to be here.
Well,
so he thinks everyone
not that
deserves
school.
to be in.
Well, that's the public education idea. That's the way it's supposed to be. In that it's supposed to be
By
that
law,
even
I think
the
is all he
kids-
meant there.
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't
he was
think he
trying to
meant
make
it
that
in-
point, but also
Yeah.
that the kids deserve to be there. Like everybody deserves to get an education, or to whatever extent they can handle it. It's tough though. I mean, you can't have if you have some special needs kids, they can be extremely disruptive to a regular class, and so it can make it so that it's actually very difficult. Or if you got somebody that can't sit still or be quiet at times, then you, depending on your staff, you don't have enough staff to deal with that one extra kid plus the 20 or 30 in your classroom. So
40
so certainly,
in this instance is crazy.
yeah, there are all these like practical things that make some of this stuff very, very difficult. I think that the other messages were more about just like the parenting stuff in terms of like how you put your own like aspirations on your kids, or you worry about your kids being smart, or you worry about your kids not trying hard, or thinking that if they're not succeeding, then there's something wrong with them. That they're somehow like that they're capable of doing things exactly how everybody else does, and if they don't, that there's a problem there that means that they are not trying hard enough. And I think those were the other messages that I think were really kind of good to hear. But you're right. I can side with you on that to some extent, TC or Denny, in that it's like it still focuses on the kid and his brilliance in the end, kind of as if that's the really important thing, when that's
Not
you know,
really. That's like the
right.
that's like the thing that comes out
movie,
of it.
Yeah, the highlight of the movie should have been, a teacher sat down with this kid and taught him how to read and write. That's
that
a
was
freaking
was
movie.
like the second,
Right,
third
and
of
he
the
found-
movie.
right. No, but the huge the crescendo is like him getting him having this success, and that's tough because it's still everybody wants to have some kind of success, some kind of accomplishment. I mean, it whatever it is, even if it's just being able to get by or whatever, or being able to live independently or whatever. So. I don't know.
Yeah, you're bringing in reality, John. You're not explaining away the flaws of the movie. That's not really
I'm not.
the movie.
I know. I'm not. I think you have a really good point when you speak of it that way. I was again. I'm happy to go along for the ride for this. But I'm not walking away from it thinking, oh, every dyslexic kid is a genius. I'm not walking away from thinking that, oh, every special needs kid should be in exactly the same classroom as everybody else, and that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not. But I don't know if people would be walking away thinking those things. I mean, that seems.
Doubt
but
it. Only Denny, because he's in a bad mood.
No.
Yeah, he's in a bad mood.
What's wrong with him?
I got about 10 minutes in,
Did
and
you
I was
look
like,
over
oh,
at
I don't have
Naomi
to
and
care
said,
about this movie. Cool.
You look over at Naomi and said, so I don't think you're a genius. Aren't you supposed to be a genius?
Yeah. You're dyslexic. You're not a
she's smarter
genius.
than me,
What's up with
so-
that?
Oh, I know. She's insanely talented,
Yeah.
but I'm just teasing.
No,
you.
But I mean,
Exactly.
she could. I mean, this movie does. It does some things that aren't realistic to be more. I don't know. To be more of an educational tool, I guess. Like nobody has all of these symptoms that this kid has all at once, but this movie does explain all of the symptoms of a dyslexic person.
Sure.
So it might be like they put it all in there, even though that might not happen usually. Just to, in case a parent's watching, they might be like, "Oh shit, my kid might have dyslexia." Like maybe that'll it'll change some people's actual perspective, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
And I mean, Naomi did agree that like the way he was treated was, overly dramatic but accurate. Like the teachers were frustrated with her. They thought she was lazy, like pretty much the same type of thing before they realized that she was dyslexic. But I mean, all that stuff is accurate. It's just on the nose, overly dramatic, extra long, poorly acted. Like this, these are my complaints. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I can.
I guess, like
Not
I said,
funny,
you
the
had
song sucked.
expectations. I didn't have any expectations of any of
I
those
just got
things.
back from Boston.
I think that's the big difference, right? Like if you're able to sit there and watch this movie with no expectations of it being like some critically acclaimed, acted, production valued movie, it's going to be fine because it's a heartwarming story. But like I sat there and I knew, I was like, I'm not going to criticize this for it being a type of movie versus like something like, The Shining, right? Like you can't do that. This is a stupid movie in comparison. So like I just started to take the story at heart and be like, this is cute. It's easy. It's fun. And it's better than fucking doldrum shit. But like I could see, like if you're sitting there doing the normal Denny, like, oh, I don't understand why they're doing this, and how come this edited so long, and fucking tearing it apart. Yeah,
It
I could
adds
see
up,
this
yeah.
fucking destroyed.
So wait,
Real
you didn't
quick.
like the season finale of Mayor of Easton there?
I didn't Are you kidding me? I quit at
you quit?
episode 5.
Oh,
I'm never watching that.
We
You kidding
watched
me?
the last 2 episodes
Not
right after
a
I watched this movie.
fucking chance. Am I ever wasting another second on that
Good show. Real good show.
Terrible show.
Give the
Really?
award to Kate Winslet right
Good
now.
acting, good production value, useless characters, horrible story.
It's the exact opposite of this movie.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I made myself laugh once, actually. I laughed twice in this
Oh
movie.
well, good.
Can I give myself
that
credit?
doesn't count if
Yeah,
you.
we can give you
we'll
credit.
It was when they
give
put
yourself some credit.
they put the kid on the train to leave to go to school, and I was yelling at my TV, "I've abandoned my child! I abandoned my boy!" Daniel Day-Lewis's voice. I laughed at
Nice.
myself. After
Okay.
doing
And
that.
you were
made
like,
yourself
I
laugh.
wonder if
I'm like,
anybody else.
ha.
I wonder if
If
anybody
only
else
I
heard
could be
that.
in a theater.
Yeah. I wish
Yeah.
someone else was here to hear that.
I'm just
because that was
standing up,
funny.
and I'm like, right? Am I right, everyone? Out.
Yeah, right?
Popcorn, out.
You're doing a tight 5 minutes in your own room by yourself.
Oh,
That's good.
have you ever heard the word duffer before?
I brought that up because my mother watched this too because we were watching at the same time,
Oh, nice.
and she was like, "That's got to be left over from the Brits because that's a thing they say in London and a lot still."
Oh, is it?
Yeah, duffer.
Does it just mean idiot?
It just means absolute moron. Yeah,
Okay.
right. And
Yeah.
and someone of like the older crowd too. So like an old duffer
Oh,
is like
okay.
is an idiot that can't be taught. I think, and is somewhat older.
Huh.
So
I watch a lot of British TV, and I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
So my mom heard it, and she was like, "Oh, that's an old term in the Brits
Yeah.
use."
Ah,
So it makes
gotcha.
sense from when they colonized that they were
From
using that.
Scots for Dulfer, which means stupid person, literally from Dulf, which means spiritless.
That's great.
I didn't understand half what you just said.
I got to start using that word. I'm
So
sorry.
duffer, it's from. I was just looking up the origin of the word. So
Okay.
duffer is from Scots. From
Scots?
dofar. Yeah,
Scotland?
meaning stupid person.
Come on, you duffer.
Scots? You
Pay
call
attention.
Scotland Scots?
Well, that's just what the Oxford Languages says here.
Interesting. I'm probably just an idiot, huh? Probably.
Yeah, well, you're the duffer. Right.
Oh, also, this makes it very Scottish. Duffer, inept person, stupid, dull, old man, 1842, especially bad golfer.
Oh, no shit.
That makes sense. Because you duff the
Yeah,
ball. That
okay.
makes a lot more sense.
There you
But
go.
from the Scottish word dufar, D-U-F-F-A-R, which means dull or stupid person, which is also from dulf, W-F, stupid.
Oh, I've never heard of these. I'm going to use them all the
Yeah.
time. It's great.
Yeah, duffer is, it's pretty cool.
Dolph Lundgren. Is that where he got his name?
Yeah, right. Oh man, he got teased if he went to the right places. Was he American? No, he was.
He's Austrian or something
Yeah.
like that?
Okay,
I think.
but yeah, I don't think I've heard that word much until then.
Oh, man,
Even
they used it a
the
lot
other
in
Indian
this, too.
films.
Yeah, they did. The letter spider part was weird, I thought. That was freaking really
A
weird.
little creepy. Yeah, it creeped the kid out. Samantha was a little creeped out by that,
Yeah.
understandably so.
I'm going through my notes. I wrote down, I can't believe I'm only 1 hour and 8 minutes in. I paused it. I was like, no, now we're at 33 left. God damn it. You guys got anything else in the movie? I'm just going through my notes here.
I'm going to forget. Do you know what Aamir Khan's next film is going to be?
Doom 4.
No, is it?
I don't know. That was just a guess.
That's a good idea. Because that's one of the series is in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something. Anyway, no, it is going to be a remake of Forrest Gump, but a
What?
Bollywood production.
Oh, God. I could see with the attitude that these movies have, that could be very insensitive.
Could be. I want to watch it though.
It's going to be 7 hours long. Forrest Gump is already like
With all
3
the
hours
things
long.
he does. Yeah. I wonder what if they're going to go like through Indian history sort of and just sort of replay moments like that. Just kind of like take it and like replay significant moments. So apparently, his character will have something to do with like cricket in the early days. I don't know. Who knows?
Instead of football, it'll be cricket.
Yep.
Naomi okayed the dyslexia journal montage.
She okayed that.
She okayed
Okay.
it. Yeah. That was
Naomi
okayed by an
approved.
actual dyslexic person. So that checks out.
All right.
Good job, movie.
TC,
Good job.
What did your mom, TC, what did your mom think?
She thought it was funny. She kept saying, this is adorable. It's like a fun, nice thing,
Oh.
It's what normal people would say with a movie like this because they're not psycho killers.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Not dark.
Not
and
everyone that likes
twisted.
horror movies is a psycho, TC. Come
No,
on.
but you are.
Some of them just wish they were, but they're not courageous enough.
Guys eating a fucking rum cola popsicle. Are you telling
that
me
is
that
a
guy's
serial
not a
killer
psycho
behavior.
killer? Yeah, it definitely is.
It's like, I got my adult popsicle. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jesus
Look, you
Christ.
can stab somebody with this if you just
Yeah.
stuck on it the
Well, you'd
right
be
way.
better
It
off
gets kind of
stabbing
pointy.
somebody than eating it.
Right.
Jesus.
You know what? You stab somebody with a popsicle, the murder evidence is nothing. It goes away.
That's
the
a
weapon is
fantastic
gone. It
idea,
melts.
John. Fantastic
right.
idea.
Now we know.
There's a bullet hole,
That's
but
right.
there's no bullet. But it's
That's
covered in
right.
rum and coke. I don't know
Oh,
what
is that a
happened.
rum
It's
cola
like weird.
popsicle? It's still frozen.
Yeah. I'm sure you got really dark and angry and just like, all sappiness and no darkness makes Denny an unhappy boy. All sappiness and no darkness makes Denny an unhappy boy.
Yes, Denny. Don't look at the TV anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, on that note, if you haven't seen the movie Possessor, I would recommend that one if you're in the mood for a horror movie.
I've heard about that.
It was
one.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
came
a
out,
horror
like,
guy.
5 or 6 months ago.
It's
It-
David
it's relatively
Cronenberg's
new.
son, Brandon Cronenberg.
Oh, yeah. A little Cronenberg Jr.
Yeah. He
Little
takes
Junior
a lot from
Cronenberg.
his father.
Yay. Chip off the old beast. as
the
it
old
were.
duffer, as it were.
The old
Yeah.
mutant.
Yeah, my last note in the movie was I'm laughing at the crying at the end.
Yes.
Just laughing.
Yes, yes.
Are you, Denny?
Laugh at the
Are you?
crying.
I
Laugh
am.
at the
Are
crying.
you?
I wouldn't
Okay.
lie about such a thing.
All right.
Yes, yes.
That's basically all I got in the movie. You guys got anything else?
No,
I got some
no, there
trivia
wasn't
and
much
stuff.
to it. There is trivia? Oh, boy.
There is trivia. John,
got trivia good?
did you find
Let's
anything to
rifle
read?
through that.
I did, but then I didn't read it. I was gonna read.
I would just lie about it
found
next
but I
time
didn't
then.
read it. Yeah.
No, because
No, I didn't find anything next
I
time.
had a book that would have been good for this, and I didn't get to it. I have Oliver Sacks, an anthropologist on Mars. So he's a neurologist who writes about different like cases, really interesting cases. Like one of his most famous books is The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
I love
read
that
one.
book.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that book.
very, very well known. But in this book, he goes through and talks about he reviews these cases where because of differences in people's brains, how they think and perceive differently, and how in a way it's different and not necessarily worse and sometimes better in terms of like they can do things or see things that other people can't, or like conceive of things in ways other people can't. So it's really interesting. And that was kind of the point of that whole book. That was kind of the theme of his collected cases about how he describes, and he does a really good job of like, even in the intro, he's just like saying, well, I think he like injured his leg or something. He said, I'm going to walk differently now. I'm going to adapt. Or he injured his arm, like his dominant arm. He said, now I do everything differently. I'm adapting. I have to change. I can't write like I used to, but I'm still like adapting, and my whole body is changing. My posture is changing. I am adapting, and this is what people do. And this is what you're going to do if your brain is wired differently, you're going to adapt. You're still going to like work it out some way to function. And sometimes maybe you'll be able to do some things better. So it was a really interesting series of cases, which I did not get to. But so that's all I got.
But it was a good idea.
It is. He's a great writer. His books are fun to read, and it's really interesting. He has a lot of sympathy and interest in the people that he talks about. So yeah, that was it.
Sweet.
That's a good one.
You guys
That was
ever
quick.
see My Left Foot on that one? Christy
Not for a
Brown.
long
right,
time.
isn't that Daniel Day-Lewis?
Was that
It
DDL,
is.
right? Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. He learns how to paint with his feet because he can't move his
and
arms.
he's a real jerk too, right? He's pretty.
yeah,
kind
I
of a
think so.
Jerk. Yeah.
Right up my alley. Makes him an interesting
Yeah.
character.
Right.
you know?
Dark. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We want to see movies about bad people, mean
do.
people. That's what life is.
Oh, all right. So TC, here we go. This will be interesting. I want Timmy to do the bumper. Let's freestyle some bumper things that Sean's going to put some background music to. Let's do some.
No.
Yeah.
I want the bumpers to be pleasant. I love Timmy, but
Don't worry
No,
about
it'll
it.
be
We're
funny
here.
if it's Timmy.
all right,
He's here.
fine. All right, we'll try.
What kind of
We'll
bumper
see
is
how
that
it goes.
now? What are we doing for the
But
bumper?
Sean,
We're doing Johnny's. Do you want it to be called Johnny's Book Corner for Here and Never After?
That's right.
John?
Sean, if you're listening.
Here's Johnny, the book corner. How you doing, guy? Wait, don't worry about it, though. We got you covered. We'll read the book for you all day. You know what I'm saying? What, you got dyslexia? That's not my problem, guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there with Larry Arabia. We're over there reading books, kid. You know what I'm saying? All day, guy. Fuck yourself.
All right, Sean, if you're listening, though, what I hate when podcasts do bumpers is if it's like, it gets annoying to listen to after
He's
like
gonna
the
find
first
something
couple
in there.
times.
He'll find something
Yeah.
in there to use.
All right.
I don't know.
So
after
I'm just saying that.
200 episodes, I'm not sick of Timmy yet. So there's got to be something
Yeah,
about
that
that.
is true. That is
No
true. I'm
one's
not
sick
sick
of
of our
Timmy. Come on.
theme. I really like too. No, I'm not either. That's a good point. Okay.
All right. How about the book corner? Book corner
that's right.
freestyle. Go. No, not sorry. The trivia book
No.
freestyle. Go for it.
Trivia. Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Timmy. Timmy.
So you're
Trivia.
Timmy doing the bumper to introduce Denny's trivia
Yes.
segment.
Oh, right.
How you doing, everybody? It's Timmy. And it's Denny. He's doing his trivia. No big deal, though. He's got some fucking knowledge for you. Woohoo! Timmy's book corner now. Timmy's fucking trivia guy. How you doing?
Oh, we're gonna get something out of that. That'd be funny.
There's gotta be something in there. Yeah.
We'll see.
So trivia time. All right. So you ready for this? Here we go. The main actor was almost not allowed to film this movie from his like school program, but Aamir Khan promised them that he'd like go through his regular curriculum, and Aamir Khan paid for all of it just so the kid could come and act. That was nice of him. Another Aamir Khan good deed. Really? So actually, this will come up soon. I actually found the one negative piece of trivia I found in Aamir Khan in all of his movies we watched so far, which has been like 5 or 6 movies.
Mhm.
The original director was Amole Gupte. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Amole and his wife, who edited this movie, worked on the screenplay for 7 years. They started off, they wanted to make a story about Akira Kurosawa and kind of focus on how when he was in school, the famous director, in case you don't know.
Well, yeah.
How when you guys know, I know, but yeah.
I'm sorry. We
The
do.
famous,
Just for our
famous
audience. That's
Japanese
true.
director. I think top 5 most famous directors ever, like super famous
Yeah.
guy, did poorly in school until an art teacher came and started helping him out individually. So they started the story off there.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
It would have
All right, anyway. Yeah.
But so
anyway.
it took him, I don't know how you take 7 years to write a screenplay, but they were doing this and then they were researching why he had trouble in school. And it doesn't seem like anyone actually diagnosed him when he was younger, but they, came across this all this literature on dyslexia and stuff. And they're like, oh, let's just make it about dyslexia and kind of have the same kind of story, but make it about dyslexia instead of Akira Kurosawa. So that's kind of how they did that. But the director who was signed on and started the production, Aamir Khan, was super famous from Lagan at that point.
Right.
So he brought him on to, Gupte brought on Aamir Khan to produce and act in the movie. 2 weeks into the shoot where Gupte was directing, Khan did not like the dailies at all. And either Gupte stepped down or Khan kicked him out. There's no good, depending on who you talk to at what point, those are the two different sides of the story. So I don't know which one's true, but Gupte was on set the rest of the movie as it was. This is the first movie Khan directed. So this was, his production company and his directorial debut. This movie made a shit ton of money for its budget. It had, translated to US dollars, it had a $1 million or $1.2 million budget. It made over, so this is also up in contention, worldwide, between 12 and $19 million US.
Wow.
So either 12 or 19 times its budget. So that's huge.
Either way, even if you're just starting at 12, that's a big increase.
It's a lot. And Indian cinema, internationally typically didn't do that well. This movie did really good in China. Within 10 days of this movie's release in India, the Central Board of Secondary Education, which is kind of the special needs education board in India, changed their curriculum or guidelines to allow extra time for special needs kids because of this movie. So,
Jesus, see what
that's crazy. I know.
That's what we've seen this with Three Idiots as well. Like the impact that these crafted films have on his, like he sees these problems and they go after them and they change things.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's really impressive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cannot criticize that.
But Daddy was there at the school board meeting.
But that was boring.
That was a
sappy fucking
that
garbage.
doesn't mean I have to like the movie. I'm really glad at what it did.
No, it does,
boring.
I'm allowed not to like it still. I'm so happy that happened.
Guy's eating a fucking rum and Coke
right,
pop. And you loving that.
That's the other aspect with these films that we've seen where we really can see like a change. Like that, I think that I can't remember. Like Three Idiots had an impact like that too. I think right and where it actually produces the films themselves are
student suicide was like the topic there.
Yeah.
And how like the pressure on kids like leads them to kill themselves.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it's kind of amazing the things he goes after. I mean, I don't know if PK had what the impact of PK was, but you certainly could see the message there. So that to me is impressive. You take a film and you enact change with it. I don't know if we have I'm sure there are examples.
Documentaries do.
Documentaries can, right?
But not like Hollywood movies most of the time.
Yeah. You're right.
Let us pause in a podcast and think.
Yes, let's think.
1, 2, 3. I'm thinking here. Hold on. Go fuck yourself. I don't remember. I got learning disability too. All I know how to do is spackle and paint. I'm good at the plumbing too, but not so much because I can't figure out which way to turn the pipes,
Oh yeah. What about Black Panther? That enacted some change in Hollywood, but that's not real life. That's not like regular change anywhere else. That doesn't
change for other actors.
Anyway. Yeah, India culture too is just it's such a vastly different culture than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Enacting change seems, I wouldn't even know where to start in either, you know what I mean? For us, it's like people enact change, they just make a movie, right? It's like they actually do shit apparently. I don't know. It seems crazy to me that they made this movie and then like it prompted others to do something.
Yeah, that's good. In that wide shot where they're all painting, there were 1,500 students in that shot.
Wow.
Kids.
That is a lot of kids.
A lot of extras. They were all actual
truck them
students.
in from?
All the schools in the surrounding area.
Okay.
Yeah. It was during summer. It was during like Christmas vacation, I think. So they all had school off, but yeah.
Those were impressive shots because everybody was so organized and to have like kids like all over. I don't know. It just seemed, I like those shots of the competition. I just thought it was impressive how like you really got a sense that it was all happening and they were all engaged with it. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he had to do some tricks to trick the kids. He actually like made shoots, like days of shoots, go longer, and all the shots from the shots they used were at the end because they're kids and they would stare at the cameras until they would, and then they would bore them with like repeating the scene over and over again until they lost interest and stopped paying attention to the camera, and that's when they, got the shots of the crowds.
Nice.
So they had to bore the kids frequently in this movie.
torture, kid torture.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Aamir, what the hell? That's it. That's all the trivia I got, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't imagine there being much trivia for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too much. Would you guys put this in the top 250?
I think I would. Yeah.
I don't know if I
think
would.
give it its impact. I would.
Yeah. But since I didn't know about the impact before this, I don't think I would.
That's fair.
Nice.
Only because I wasn't thinking I was going to put it in, before the podcast. So, and I liked it. And I got to say, Aamir Khan, if you're listening, my man.
Hit up TC. He wants to hang,
Favorite
buddy.
India actor ever. For sure. As far as, I mean, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't really know much else.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's mine too, but I don't have a wide,
Yeah, it's like my direct line into understanding somewhat of what goes on in that other country.
Yeah, I'm going to go now. But
What we got?
Anyway.
So just reading in the Wikipedia article, it's like,
John's not done yet.
We're not done.
I'm sorry, I was just reading like Gupta stepped down to keep him on board. He stepped down as director because Khan was going to leave otherwise, basically.
That's what the Wikipedia says. If you read other things, there are other descriptions of that
There are
scenario.
other descriptions, yeah.
Yeah, they probably,
For some reason,
told
Wikipedia-
him to back off and then you can't.
Or no, you're right, yeah.
So, John, did
Interesting.
you put in 250? Let's wrap this up so we can stay
All
on
right, all
train
right.
of thought here.
Let's go. Sorry. Yeah,
So
I
is
did.
that a
Let's
yes?
go.
Yes?
That was a yes
what's
on
next
Yes for
week?
the
What are we
movie or
doing
yes
next?
for the impact or yes for both, John?
All of that, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yes.
So what are we doing next week? And do we want to talk about what we're watching, or did that kind of tank last time anyway?
I watched Mare of Easton and it was good.
It was a terrible,
All of it.
terrible show.
Yo, Possessor. Guys, you got to watch it. It's freaking amazing.
All right.
I've been watching really shitty TV, so I didn't want to say
Still,
what.
okay.
Just like really bad,
This is The Bachelor?
Innocuous, Chicago PD, just like terrible
hey, that's
fucking
fine.
TV. Terrible. Hey, how you
I
doing?
don't
Hey,
have
how you
anything to
doing?
add.
It's a
We
guy from
didn't do
Chicago
anything.
PD. Hey, you don't like my TV show? We're gonna find all the fucking criminals. We gotta take them in.
Wait. I have been watching The Expanse, which is really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that one. It's good.
Yeah, I started watching it again. It's really well done sci-fi.
You know
So
that's Jeff
it's on
Bezos' favorite show.
Who? Oh, is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I especially hate it now. We watched like 4 episodes of it and I didn't like it at all. I don't know.
I'm not a big sci-fi buff, and
That's the one where they're like stuck on the spaceship and none of their shit works and they have to go outside the spaceship to fix it and a bunch of aliens come.
No,
I think
I
it
don't
goes
think
on.
so.
There's like 5 years of it, 6 years of it.
No.
There's
That's like
all
it starts
sorts of
out.
worlds.
It's like it starts out as kind of like a detective story, kind of a noir detective story at first. So
No, there's 2 different
it-
stories. One guy's on like
Right.
Mars and the other team of people are in a spaceship and it breaks down and they have to get off the spaceship because
that might have been one
oxygen.
season.
Yeah, that was
I think
like
that was
the
a
first couple
season.
episodes. You didn't like
Yeah.
that stuff? I like the
It's kind of,
okay.
you really have to be into like the world building and all those and
Yeah.
really get into it. There's a lot of information in there that I
Yeah,
haven't-
I've started to enjoy it after like watching it.
It's
It
a
was like-
lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. People get really into it though. People
Yeah,
love it.
I mean,
It's like,
apparently
you know.
it gets better supposedly as the seasons progress.
That's not
from
surprising.
what I've heard. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Denny's just in a
I think Denny, there's
Denny's
some
just-
horror elements that come
Yeah,
into
Denny,
play
people
later.
die
too.
in that show.
Oh,
So
really? I
like
gotta
it.
turn that back on.
Yeah.
Can you
All of
give
a
me an
sudden it's
episode
better.
and a time mark, watermark there, John? Just watch The Killing and then I'll turn it on.
Yeah, right.
that's right.
Yeah.
That was a good show though, The Killing. Anyway.
How did you like that? Not Mare of Easton. It's like the same shit.
Yeah, I'm over those shows. And
Oh, you're
Mare
just
of
sick
Easton,
of it?
at least
Okay.
those fucking characters in The Killing had redeemable qualities. These assholes in Mare of Easttown, none of them, I care for none of them. They're all shitty people.
I
Every
was
single
worried.
last
That's
one of
why
them.
Nikki and I kind of shut it off pretty quickly in the first episode. It was like, oh no, it's going to be a white trash kind of film.
Yes.
And we're going to, it's just, we're not really
exactly
going
right.
to, I don't know if there's,
As I would say, low rent.
I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't seem
low
like there's going to be
fucking
some
rent.
redeeming qualities. It seems like there's going to be some really awful
Yeah.
people in this,
They
and
all
I don't
suck.
think we want to watch it.
Yeah, they
So
all suck.
that kind of like, we kind of did a bailout pretty quickly because of that. So from what TC's saying, it sounds like that was the right call for us.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
I think, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it couldn't be worse than fucking Chicago PD. So
No, it's
Yeah.
entertainment. Come on. Is it Tom Selleck still in that one?
no, that's Blue Bloods.
Oh, that's Blue Blood.
I've been
I've
watching
seen
that
it.
one too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good.
Tom
Is Tom
Selleck's
Selleck in that
mustache.
one?
Tom Selleck, yes. He'll give you
Yes.
words of wisdom all day.
That's right.
You guys ever seen Three Men and a Baby? Classic movie. Why is that not the top 250?
I don't know.
I can't imagine what that movie is, and I don't want
You never
to.
saw
Tom
that movie?
Selleck, Steve Guttenberg,
Dude, it's
Ted
about
Danson.
they're supposed to like babysit a baby, but somebody puts a bunch of cocaine in a baby carriage, so they get that instead. So they're babysitting for a baby and they're avoiding drug people. It's a really fucking weird movie from
that
the
sounds
80s
stupid.
or the 90s,
Yep.
maybe.
It was a big hit.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys excited for next week's movie?
What is
What
next
is
week?
it?
I think this is the first movie we're going to watch Kevin Spacey in since the allegations. Is that true? That might not be true. We might have
Is it
seen.
Is it? Are we up to American Beauty?
I don't
We
know.
already?
are up to American Beauty.
Oh, shit.
man.
I liked that movie.
So did I. Before
I loved that movie,
Yeah.
but I was like a kid thinking it was really deep. I worry what's going to happen
and
now.
it's also
but-
about Kevin Spacey being kind of a pedophile, you know? So
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to watch
crap.
this one. But anywho, Sam Mendes.
the mission must go on.
The mission goes. A sexually frustrated suburban father has a midlife crisis after becoming infatuated with his daughter's best friend, a.k.a. Kevin Spacey's autobiography.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
she's a hottie, though.
Can you blame him?
Oh well, that
Yeah,
that,
right. That's what I was getting at.
that excuses everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
actress
and we
is
all
like
know that
21
he was
years
about-
old. Come on.
We all know that he was about the boy and the boys anyway. So
That's true.
Yeah. Oh,
So that makes it
man.
okay.
I'm gonna compartmentalize this movie and watch it and enjoy it again. Exactly.
Okay, good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you. Because I don't know. If
I'm
going to
enjoy it and then
hard.
try to like come up with a reason to defend why I enjoyed it so much. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
That sounds good.
I'm going to
Yeah,
just be
sounds
like, Chris Cooper is an amazing actor. That's what I'm going to base my review on.
Yeah. What's her name? Mina Savari, right? Isn't she in it?
She is.
She's a good looking one, I'll tell you.
All right, you guys got anything else?
No.
No. TC, next time, so think about it. Actually think about it this week. Come up with a bonus episode next time. It's been me and John for a few times. I'm glad you guys liked it.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you don't like
It's
things.
okay. Yeah.
I love shitting on your thoughts and opinions.
We love
It's great.
making fun of you, so that's
Yeah,
great.
that's
when you do
okay.
that.
And
Yeah.
most of the time I enjoy it too. So today was one of those times. So that's good.
Yeah. Have another rum pop, huh?
Yeah,
we're
come
all
on,
out.
Knock yourself out.
Fresh out of those guys.
All right, boys.
All right. Later, dudes.
All right, take care, guys.